Hello and welcome back to another episode of Roguelite Roulette with Freeman Gaming. And last time we played Beacon, so let's see what we're playing this time. Hand of Fate 2. This is a game I actually played a bunch of, so I like this game. Let's see, where is that in here? There it is. God, I don't understand. My fucking keybinds aren't fucking working lately. So for anyone who hasn't played Hand of Fate 2, or Hand of Fate 1 for that matter, uh, it's a game where you are in a room with a game master, a GM, and he builds a deck of encounters and events and other things, like items and modifiers, that kind of thing. And you play it like you're a piece on a chessboard, and you're going through the cards of each encounter, dealing with whatever gets dealt to you. It'll be easier to explain, and you'll see it exactly when it actually starts. So let's just turn the music down, and I'll turn the effects down slightly. Whoops, excuse me. And display will go down to this. I don't want VSync on. Back. Okay. I'm not gonna, like the other games, I'm not gonna continue from where I am, since this is like a let's try type of series that I'm playing. So I'm gonna do a new game. Game freeze? I can't tell. The game froze. I'm gonna pause the recording and just... What in the fuck is going on here? Also, why are my... Alright, I need to pause and see what the hell just happened. Hold on a sec. Alright, I'm back. I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know if it's just the game fucking up, or if it's my recording software that's messing it up. Hopefully it's still recording here. I'm gonna try the new game again. Hopefully it's corrected itself. Okay, better.
Your memories are fading even now, gone to form the soul of the game we play. These pieces are new, as are the stakes. Life, death, and vengeance. We must ride, for time is short, and you have much to learn. Make your first choice, and let us set these wheels in motion once more.
I'll be a boy.
These cards represent your history and our game. We know where they end, for you are here, Therefore, these cards must guide you to my side. Let us see what the journey holds.
This is a pretty cool game,
The fool
honestly.
steps into nothingness, because they know no better. In the same way, you must step into the void. You are a blank slate, and together we will write your history.
You've stumbled many miles through this forest in search of the thieves who robbed you. Though exhausted and hungry, you are determined to reclaim your father's amulet. You finally catch sight of the thieves hacking at a large tree and arguing amongst themselves. So essentially what's going to happen here is I'm going to fight 4 enemies, and I think that means there's going to be an elite there with them. And, you know, like a you get to choose your own adventure. I'll try to get closer.
Every element of the game has been improved, even those that seem at first glance familiar. Do not worry, you will soon understand the nuances.
So I successed. Creeping forward, you overhear their leader spouting orders. It's simple, he says. The idiots walk down the road. You push over the tree and jump out. They'll be too scared to put up a fight, and we'll get rich. Why don't we just jump out and stab 'em? One retorts. Another hooded figure chimes in. Yeah, corpses don't put up a fight either. Frustration rises in the leader's voice. The Empire doesn't care if a few farmers lose some sprouts, but drop a corpse on the Royal Road, and the place will be filled with soldiers before you've even spent the coin. We don't need that trouble. Now quiet, here they come. You soon spot a group of farmers coming around the corner, bringing their wares to a market. The thieves fell the tree into the path of the unsuspecting farmers and leap out, weapons brandished. Give us all your food. So I can leap to their defense, I can offer to help the farmers. Let's do the second one. We have no gold, shriek the terrified farmers, but half our crop is yours if you protect us. So food is that's a good thing. The thieves eye you nervously. The farmers look at you hopefully. Yeah, I'll accept. You draw your weapon with practiced skill. Well, you hear the leader's voice. You lads handle this. I'll meet you when you're done. He'll explain all the shit. I won't have to do it. I fight 4 bad guys here. It's like the Dark Knight. It's like Batman combat. Thug. Violence for the sake of violence, and theft for the sake of money. Thieves attack frequently and can evade standard attacks, making heavy weapons less effective. Easy, move with Wasad. You also can use the controller. The controller might be better, I've just never done it. I've never used it. Every combat is like that. With the brigands dispatched, the farmers turn to you. I hope your price doesn't prove too high. If the next harvest comes, we'll starve regardless. So, food costs, I think it costs 1 food to move each each card, essentially. You fall on the food with a sigh, shoveling bread in your mouth to quell your hunger. It also heals you. Yeah, each step heals you if you have food. And you need food to move spaces. If you don't have food, I think you lose health. Your satisfaction lasts only a moment before you realize your father's amulet is not among the takings. Their leader must still have it. You set to your feet, determined to find him. And so, there's only one way to go in this one. A friend in need. While enjoying a moment beside the fire, you spy a strange figure approaching your camp. It's a goblin dressed in what must pass for goblin finery. From beneath a filthy fox pelt, serving as an ill-fitting wig, the goblin winks at you with wild red eyes. Aha! I've been roaming for hours trying to find you. We must get this over with quickly, if I have any hope of getting to all the people on my list before sunrise. It lowers a sack from its shoulders. Now, from within my sack I can conjure whatever your heart desires. The goblin's voice trails off as he examines his sack. Well, I could if there wasn't a blooming great big hole in it. His head disappears entirely into the bag until his bulbous nose protrudes from the breach. A new plan, then. The goblin pulls out his last trinkets. Okay, so I get to choose one of these things. I mean, obviously, idiot. Okay, good. I can look at all of them. Critical strike. Kind of same thing as this, but more hits causing it. Riposte. Cool. I'll take the soldier's sword. And I will equip it. A wise choice. Now I must go. There are many others I must visit before I can rest. The goblin runs off into the night, his fox wig flapping in the evening breeze. You can exchange equipment in the inventory, yeah. Okay. What's next?
This card has a token. Can you find it?
Your journey through a forest is interrupted by an inquisitive child. Are you searching for a forest folk? My uncle says that they used to walk these woods giving out gifts. I want to find one and ask for lemon cake. As they dash off to peer under a nearby log, the child shouts back, Remember, if you meet the forest folk, give me a lemon cake. In another direction, an eerie song hangs in the air. You attempt to find its origin. Oh, whoops. You spend hours traveling in circles until night falls, bringing an unnatural silence to the forest. So if I would have passed that, I would have gotten a token. I can't really remember what the tokens do, honestly.
Nothing could be more fitting now than meeting the mage who started this all. Or at least, started it all for you.
A trail of fallen trees. Okay, the Royal Road. A trail of fallen trees and distraught farmers leads you to the thieves who had stolen your amulet. It seems their infighting has only gotten worse. The bandits surround their former leader, weapons drawn. Everyone will get their fair share. There's no need for violence, the leader implores. Whoever heard of a thief talk about fair shares? Spits one. You turn up and boss us around. We've barely stabbed anyone. It's been days since I've stabbed someone. Days. The leader notices you approaching and waves you over. As much as I'd love to continue this discussion regarding stabbings, I'm afraid I have urgent business with my associate here. As he greets you, he whispers, Keep me alive, and there'll be plenty of gold for your trouble. Yeah, I want the amulet. He holds up a finger. First rule of negotiation, never let them know what you want. Kill my associates, and I will gladly return your amulet. Ever reliable, the thieves draw their blades to mug you. The leader hurries away to hide. I'm gonna fight these fuckers. Give us your stuff, or we'll stab you up, growls one of them. You consider your options. Obviously, I'm gonna fight. You draw your weapon and prepare to fight, to prepare to deal with the miscreants. With the battle resolved, the thief leader nods in approval at the carnage before him. He holds out a hand. The name's Malacalypse, Bard Extraordinaire. His smile fades under your withering glare. Sensing your anger, he raises his hands in surrender. Wait, let's not be hasty. We're on the same side here. I'm an upstanding citizen just like you. I've been working with the thieves, yes, but only for the greater good. No, really, they were killing people before I came along. I know it seems bad, but look. He pulls out an amulet from his pockets and presses it into your hands. All is forgiven, yes? You stare at the amulet. It does not look familiar. Oh, Malacalypse says, scratching his head. He opens a small satchel. So which one is yours? I think the coolest one of these is this bird. The eagle amulet. That suits you. Very similar facial structure. Say, you know what? I'm lonely. You're lonely. We should work together. We should probably get to know one another, seeing as we're going to be friends for life, Malacalypse says. Tell me where you are from. So I think that's the tutorial. Just about. Oh, I didn't even realize I could change the... So I'm from... Oh, this is changing. Okay, how I look. Cool. From the Eastern Belt, eh? You don't say. Good sorts from the Eastern Belt. Very trusting. Oh, by the way, we, friend, owe money to Vegas of the Thieves Guild. He's quite angry at us. We should journey to Mire Bridge together to appease him. Some gold might help. Although, come to think of it, I'm rather busy. Malacalypse eyes a petty trader hiking up the road, so it'd be best if you get the gold and I meet you there.
Smaller pieces of our fates shattered into fragments. Collect enough, and your reward will come in time.
You enter a competition of strength at a fair. A gold prize is available to the winner. In the first round of the competition, your opponent is the diminutive Roland, a halfling from a traveling troupe of acrobats.
These dice are another small game embedded in our game.
All kinds of little mini games in this game.
Victory, you are learning.
Roland is no match for your strength. He gives you a disappointed backflip off the table and collects his meager winnings, then cartwheels out the door. You take your reward from the purser on the way out of the tavern. When you return, you will compete in the next round for a larger prize.
The roads have become even more deadly since the Empire has come to power, despite their promises of the opposite.
Distressed damsel. The road ahead is blocked by an overturned carriage and a woman calling for help. Please help, she cries. I've been robbed by a band of thugs. Is there anything you can do? Yeah, I'll try. Thank you, the woman says as you help her from her carriage. Please accept this as a token of my gratitude. Get some food and some gold. Nice. You thank the woman and continue on your way.
Celebrations in aid of what? You see how quickly the actions of the usurper are turned into tales for children.
Carnival. Nearing the sleepy hamlet of Dulwich, you find the villagers in the midst of some kind of celebration. Much of the activity concerns a large paper and wood statue depicting a fearsome warrior looming triumphantly over a prone lizard man. I'm going to ask what's going on. A friendly stable hand explains, "In a bygone age, our town was beset by half-men, half-lizards. There was no food, no respite, and very little hope. Salvation came in the form of a nameless warrior who hunted the beasts for little more than a handful of coins and a crust of bread." He smiles warmly at the festivities. "We honor the warrior like this. The statue is filled with food and gold, and we take turns smashing it to bits with a club. You're welcome to join us, and you may keep whatever falls out." The parade and statue are winding their way into town and almost out of sight. I'm going to follow. The parade ends in a town square. You watch as the villagers take turns smashing the statue with a club and gathering the food and gold that spills out. A local notices your interest and asks if you would like a turn. Yeah, I'm going to do it. The club strikes the chest of the trait-laden beast. Some gold falls out. You survey the spoils and try to scoop them up before anyone else can. Ugh, idiot. Before you can gather anything, a young child shovels the bounty into a basket and scampers off. With your turn over, you leave. I don't have very good luck.
Water is a symbol for the many thoughts that churn beneath the surface. What is it you're thinking of? What concern is worrying at your mind? Let it fall into the waters beneath.
While crossing a stone bridge, you suddenly find yourself confronted by a villainous band. You could stand and fight the fiends, or throw yourself to the mercy of the river below. I usually would stand and fight, but what happens if I leap in the river? You dive over the side of the bridge just in time, plunging into the cold water. 11 should be pretty easy to get. Yeah. Through a combination of luck and skill, you manage to avoid the worst of the river's hazards. You emerge on the banks further downstream. Okay. Oh, okay. I have to do that card multiple times to get that. I have to beat
Here
that
we
card
come to
multiple
the
times.
end of the beginning. Running errands for mages. This will become a theme, I dare say.
Dead drop. You arrive at Meyer Bridge as the sun begins to dip below the horizon. You find Malacalypse perusing a selection of cheeses by the market. Ah, if it isn't my good friend the adventurer. Did you bring the gold? Vignis is arranged to meet at the graveyard. You wonder whether the spot was chosen for its seclusion or for easy body disposal. Vignis greets Malacalypse with a sly grin. Looks like you turned up after all, and with a lackey in tow. We had our doubts, you know. Vignis cracks his knuckles and giggles. Well now, Malacalypse, convince me what's to stop me from cutting off your head today. You reveal your gold as Malacalypse scrounges in his pockets for some too. The heavy satchel of riches lands at Vignis's feet with a thud and echoes through the silence of the cemetery. That's our deal done. That's our deal done, Malacalypse says, worry obvious in his voice. No need for any further troubles. I'm sorry, Mal, Vignis grins. You should have known the guild was never going to let you pay with cash stolen from our members in the first place. Alright, so I have to fight regardless, huh? Vignis the Crazed. Treacherous and greedy, a dangerous combination. Anarchists throw flaming bombs that cause fire damage. Your armor is no use to you here. I'm gonna deal with these guys first. Malaklips scratches his chin thoughtfully. It seems you could do with someone savvy to help you navigate these tricky matters of diplomacy. Like maybe killing everyone wasn't the best idea. Come, let's discuss our partnership over an ale or two. The Fool.
Well done. You have cleared the first challenge, and now we can move on to the next.
Cool. Yeah, so as you do challenges and get those tokens, you get new cards to add to the deck. It's a cool game. Now it's going to give me like a list of challenges.
Welcome to my challenges. Together, we will traverse 22 paths of wisdom and despair in the hope of awakening.
So I could redo the Fool again, but I think I did everything there, honestly. So now we'll do the
Nothing
Magician.
here is coincidence. The answer to every question is in the cards, if you but look.
The Magician. Rescue the missing Empire soldiers from a town plagued with corruption. So we're going to fight corrupted, and we're going to lose gold for every time an Empire person is killed. So we have cards to choose from, and what I like to do is prioritize the ones that have the the coins on them still. So we get 5 encounters here. I want to put the arm wrestling in there again to see if I can get that. Fiend in Need. Malaklips' Problem. Let's do Malaklips' Problem. We'll do Finding Forest Folk, and we'll just do all 5 that I don't have the things for yet. Equipment. We'll get the Cardinal Blade. We'll get the shield. Well, I mean, that's all we have, so just put everything we have in there. And we start.
A casual call to heroism. How many adventures start thus? For 100 years I have thought about nothing but the game. I was defeated. It is true. I became complacent long before then. I thought I knew everything about the game and what it could be. Now you see before you the extent of my research. I have crafted this game anew.
Your conversation with the Whispers from the West. Your conversation with a fur trader is interrupted as Malaklips arrives in a flurry. The Whispers speak of trouble at the edge of the Empire. The town of Westwind is suffering against the Blight. A small garrison is meant to be protecting the town, but apparently they're all either dead, missing, or drunk. I've traveled far to escape the oppression of the Empire. Westwind gave me my freedom, and I intend to return the favor. Westwind sits on the outer edge of the Empire. While the Emperor focuses on the capital, its nobles and merchants, those at the fringes are neglected. You return to the markets and ask if any traders headed to Westwind might need an escort. There are 3 options. You got 5 food. I think a food wagon is probably better. A food wagon headed to a nearby wedding offers you a ride. They gift you some food in exchange for not taking you the whole way. Yeah, food is always good. You arrive at the town of Westwind. To defend the town, you'll need to locate as many Empire soldiers as you can before the Blight invades.
In my day, thieves kept their distance. None would pickpocket a mage for fear of failure, or worse, success.
Market Thief. The Market Bazaar is a hive of activity. Traders from across the land call out to passers-by to sell their wares. As the sun beats down on the crowded street, you pause briefly to draw water from a fountain. You feel something tug on the inside of your tunic. Turning quickly, you discover a pickpocket making off with some of your belongings. You jump to your feet and catch a glimpse of the thief as they weave through the crowd. Oh, huge success. The thief is nimble, but you manage to gain on them as they negotiate the crowd. With the thief almost at arm's reach, they knock over a barrel of apples in an attempt to hinder you. How was that a good success? Reroll that one. There we go. You leap over the rolling apples and tackle the thief to the ground. The thief struggles to break free. If you let me keep these here items, and let me go, of course, I'll let you in on a secret, the thief bargains. I think you only took 10 gold. I'm going to accept the offer. You gingerly release the thief. Do not worry about your stuff, the thief says as he dusts himself off. Think of it as an investment. My name is Merrick. Perhaps I could teach you a thing or two, and if you prove yourself, he pauses. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Meet me at noon in 2 days at the Market Plaza. We can talk more then. And with that, Merrick disappears back into the crowd.
This is yours now. Even if you lose the challenge, you have earned this token.
Cool. That's one of the cool things about
Let us
this.
learn what sort you are. Strong? Clever? Wise? The circumstances under which you come here put the lie to that.
Alright, arm wrestling again. You enter a competition of strength at a fair. A gold prize is available to the winner. In the second round of competition, you sit opposite the aged frame of Huntley Toothless. He boasts about once being a silencer for the Thieves Guild. This is going to be tougher, probably, yeah. Well, actually, I think it's the same. Just re-roll all of them. Huntley crumbles in defeat almost instantly. You're lucky I'm not 20 or 30 years younger, he says, grumbling. We've got our 10 gold back, plus an additional 10. You take your reward from the purser. We've already read that.
Commerce thrives in even the most unusual of locations.
General store. The shopkeeper nods to you as you enter. Adventurer, how's the world out there? So, we got 20 gold. What kind of equipment they got? Yeah. I could buy the shield. Defend 30 attacks from any enemies to unlock this token. Yeah, I might as well get it just so I can do that. And I do want to equip it.
Well, that may help you on the road ahead.
Do I want anything else? Can't afford anything else. How much food could I get? 3 food for 10 gold. That's probably good. I don't know though. We'll see. I don't know if this is the end of this one. Leave.
The Empire reaches too far. The North has gone from a loose collection of tribes to something to truly fear.
You find some Imperial soldiers strung up by Northerners. Yeah, we're gonna fight to free them. You ready your weapon?
Let us see if the mage can help you here.
Malaclips. It's probably how you spell it. A magician, a jester, and a vagabond. When activated, Malaclips casts a protective spell on you that can block a single hit. Press R to do that. Okay.
If nothing else, I'll get a song out of this.
easy enough. Okay, we got a warrior's axe. I'm using a neglected sword right now. We're very obviously going to switch. Got some more food out of that. With the northerners dead, you free the soldiers.
Here we begin to see one of the small ways I've changed the game. Each challenge differs by the rules and their objectives. Even those cards which were once the stairs now vary per challenge, as you will see.
West Wind's Plague. The West Wind Tower bell chimes feverishly. The town crier bellows, "There's corrupted inside the town. They broke through the sewers and into the Louse Lane. Our brave soldiers have gone down there to sort it out." You arrived to find West Wind's few remaining soldiers huddled at the entrance to its poorest area, Louse Lane. "We cannot let the corruption spread. For the good of the town, we must dispose of anyone who has been tainted, even little." I'm going to join the soldiers. You join the fight against the corrupted. Inflicted. The first touches of corruption brings forth the darkest elements of their victims. Infected enemies are feeble, causing them to become knocked down when health is low. Use a finisher before they recover. Timer's about to go off, but I'm going to finish out this quest. I'm going to turn the timer off just so it doesn't scare me. With the corrupted threat removed, you've ensured that these soldiers survive to aid in the town's defense. So we've got 6 soldiers now. The soldiers help you scavenge what you can from the remains of the poor souls taken by the corruption. Get some armor.
A shield in more ways than one.
So, but I'm already using a two-handed axe, so I can't use the shield. Okay.
They got themselves into this mess. I don't see why you should get them out.
No, I'm obviously going to get them out. The whole point of this challenge is to get as many soldiers as possible alive to fight the end thing. I can't remember what the end of this one is, but... Raider. From the frozen darkness of the far north they come. Northerners can perform combo attacks. Use riposte with single-handed weapons to deal extra damage immediately after you defend. Yes. Yeah. Activate your weapon's ability 10 times. Yeah, we're going to do that. And we're going to use it so
Like
that
a
I can
compass,
actually use my...
It indicates the truth of all directions.
my shield as well. So got 2 more troops. Your journey, finding forest folk. Your journey through a forest is interrupted by an inquisitive child. Are you searching? Oh, we've already read this. I almost picked the fail one. You follow the song through the thicket and stream until you find an open glade bathed in golden sunlight. You find an aged maiden, her posture bent like the boughs of a forest. It has been 12 winters since I had a visitor. Her voice is a whisper, yet it thunders in your ears. You may visit me when you are in need, adventurer. Cool. Got plenty of food, I think. Any good equipment here? Reveal shot. Let's get a helmet.
Is that your choice? Really? Now your chance presents itself. At last, stand in the defense of the peasantry. What noble traits you display already.
So I think this is the last encounter of this stage, but I'm not going to do it yet. So when I come back, I'll read that. I'm going to keep searching.
Your companion has his own story to tell. We must wonder if this is a tale of a hero or a villain.
You arrive at the city markets to meet with Maleklips, his associate. You find him sitting on a blanket by the sewer gates. You can't tell whether he's a goblin, a human, or an animate pile of greasy rags. A few wilted daisies and duckweed tied with a rope or flopped on the ground around him. Mech? Malek. God, can't say his name. Maleklips calls to the creature, arms outstretched. I have a favor to ask you of my handsome friend. The greasy goblin man raises a hand to stop the bard's prattle. 10 gold first, you know that. Maleklips looks at you expectantly. I don't have any gold. The goblin man looks affronted. Maleklips places a consoling hand on him. Don't be mad, he doesn't know about how our kind work. Merc crosses his arms and turns his back to you. Maleklips makes soothing noises. Look here, Merc. We'll be back before you know it with the gold, okay? Okay, so I just have to have 10 gold. I don't know if I can go back and do that.
In exchange for life.
A fiend in need. As you hike through the mountains one fine day, you come across an injured traveler. Though he is clearly deeply wounded and barely moving, you sense something disturbing about the cloaked figure and approach with caution. You, mortal, come here. The creature commands, his voice rasping. I need sustenance to heal myself, and you will provide it. You draw your weapon, and the beast weakly raises its arm to defend itself. Spare me, and I will make it worth your while. 3 days ago, I happened to feast upon one of your kind, a holy man of some nature, I believe who could no doubt cure you of your wounds. Grant me a pittance of your blood to restore my strength, and I swear I shall bring him to you. Let's do it. As you lower your blade, he suddenly lunges at you. Alright. The creature continues to draw blood from your arm. I'm gonna wait. I don't know if this is actually going to kill me. I would have recovered my full strength in time, I've no doubt, but I admit you have been boon to me this night. He gestures at the darkness, saying, The humans who dared to think they could best me in combat lie fallen in a clearing to the south. Their ambition was foolish, as their deaths were quick, but perhaps they had something that would be of use to you. The shadows seem to gather about his person until nothing remains. The dealer adds an encounter target. Okay. You set out with a flaming torch and soon arrive at the scene of the slaughter. A dozen armed men have been recently butchered here. Among the remains you find no decent equipment, just the tools of farmers and provincial soldiers. As you leave the carnage, you step on a blade hidden in the shadows of the grass.
To the victor go the spoils. Do not wield a weapon you do not wish to see turned against you one day.
I'm not gonna equip it.
They place themselves in these dire positions, and then expect a hero to come rescue them when things become too much.
Stranded Noble. While patrolling the outskirts of Westwind, you hear the clash of steel and an unmistakable groan of corrupted. Your investigation leads you to a distressed nobleman perched on the roof of his carriage. "Thank the gods! I was heading to the tea with the Duke Gilbert when we were ambushed. My footman left me here to fight them off, but the brawl has now dispersed into the forest." The noble peers fearfully at the tree line. "If you stay here and protect me, I can pay." Go after the soldiers. You rush into the forest and quickly encounter a squad of Empire soldiers battling the corrupted. Might die here. Cardinal Blade. Prepared for violence in every major direction. The remaining soldier surveys his dead comrades' bodies. "The princeling ordered us to take him through this area despite the danger. Their blood is on his spindly, gloved hands." You explain Westwind's troubles and its need for soldiers to mount a defense. "The prince can fend for himself for now. I doubt even these tainted beasts will want to be around him." Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have 10 gold still.
Another chance to redeem yourself. Let's see how you handle it this time.
The Last Stand. Atop Westwind Town Hall is a large bell tower. It's used to signal the day's end for the workers in the mines and surrounding fields, but now it will summon Westwind's defenders. Do you wish to summon the soldiers you have recruited? Yes. As night cloaks Westwind, you can sense the corruption rising from the shadows all around you. You survey any soldiers you've managed to recruit. You've scoured the land and brought together every available Empire soldier to the defense of Westwind. You must survive till morning when Imperial reinforcements arrive.
Now you wager for more than mere success and failure. You choose the very stakes themselves.
The soldiers appear unmoved by your words and remain tense and fearful. I don't know what happens if you get the pass on that. I don't know if I've ever gotten it. Terror of Westwind. As the final vestiges of humanity are erased, the terror wakes. Use Bash to break the terror's corrupted armor and defeat it with the finisher before it regenerates. Okay.
With all these soldiers, you don't think you could have left me at home?
Off all its allies before I deal with it, just so I make this as easy as possible. Alright, good. I didn't embarrass myself by getting rid of all my health.
A mighty creature of chaos felled by your power. Does it satisfy you, this bloodshed? Knowing those you destroy were once simple peasants going about their day.
Once the corrupted behemoth falls, the rest of the minions flee, their spirits broken. The soldiers erupt in cheers, praising your valor. You can rest until morning, ready to greet the reinforcements with a town already saved. And I think that's the end of the
The
magician.
magician returns to the deck, but now we only begin our stories of fate, folly, and magic. Do not think I'm satisfied with this, but at least we have a place to begin. Now you have learned the simplest of ways to build your deck. Each challenge will provide its own unique trials. Here are some more tools to keep you in good stead.
Lots of new cards. That's why this game is so cool. Every time you unlock something super interesting to add to your deck.
As you play, you will find more options open to you. Should you find yourself blocked or overly challenged, take the time to explore the board. Unlocking cards will give you options you have not yet considered.
And so that's basically what this game's all about. It's I don't know if it's the most unique deck building game or deck building roguelite that's ever been made. It's definitely a different take on the roguelite deck building game, and it's a definite improvement from the first one, from Hand of Fate 1, even though Hand of Fate 1 was good too. But I am not always a huge fan of deck building roguelites. I kind of get bored of them pretty quickly. Um, I have recently been playing some Slay the Spire, and I've gotten more into it than I used to be. But I would say that this offers one of the most unique deck building roguelite experiences that you can have. I don't know if it's the most unique because I have not played all of them, but I haven't played another one that actually is a deck builder that gives you the chance to have some actual action combat in it instead of it just being you get a hand of cards and you pick the cards and you have a certain amount of energy to use them. This is almost like a D&D experience but with live action combat, and it's a deck builder instead of being with like a real GM. And I got to say I really do love this game. Um it's old. So if there's people that have not played this, I doubt there's very many people that have not played this already, but if you haven't, it's definitely worth a shot. Uh, and with that, without further ado, I want to thank everybody for watching, and I hope you tune in next time for the next episode of Roguelite Roulette, and we'll see what we play next time. Again, thanks for watching.